what's the name you like to use and where are you from?
Yeah, Dr. Robert Lockhart, currently from Queensland, North Australia in the tropics. Come over for the Woodstock Fruit Festival. I've been enjoying my time here, both participating in the fellowship that goes on around the festival and meeting such great people. It's good to see that the movement towards raw foods and fruit seems to be snowballing and increasing, because that's the type of diet that I've been following for the last 45 years. I first became vegetarian when I was about 24, and at that stage I was eating too high fat and too high protein type of diet, which is a typical Western diet, and I was really big and bulked up and paddling in the surf in Australia and playing football, and but I started to develop arthritis in my lower limbs, especially my knees, through the over-acid type of diet, and luckily I came in contact with certain enlightened people like Paul Bragg, and he came and did a lecture on the Gold Coast where I was at that time, and that immediately triggered a response in me, and I became vegetarian, gave up meat, fish, chicken, and I still had a few grains in my diet at that stage, but I gradually started to drop that off and not eat bread, and I noticed within 3 months my arthritis was pretty well cured, and luckily I won a scholarship to go to America to study chiropractic. Came in contact with Dr. Robert Martin there, who was a scientific thinker way ahead of his time. He was a chiropractor, an osteopath, a back surgeon, but he saw that back surgery wasn't the answer to back problems, and 80% of people will suffer from back problems at various stages of their life. So Dr. Martin was another trigger point that these people will arise throughout your life that'll help to guide you and take you forward and make you able to give more to people is the answer, rather than trying to just retain the knowledge and everything for your own benefit. Dr. Martin taught me about corrective therapeutic exercise that helps to offset the stress of gravity on the body, and gravity is a constant force which not many people realize is there all the time, because we live in a gravitational environment. As a consequence, we develop stooped head, stooped shoulders, thinning of the disc in the spine, back problems. 80% of people will suffer from back problems at some stage in their life. So the reason is we spend all our lives in the three common postures, which are sitting, standing and lying, and we never do anything to offset the postural debt that you build into your body. That's a word which I coined. Postural debt means that your body is crying out to go back into those uncommon postures. A few minutes a day doing the uncommon postures, such as hanging by your hands, called brachiation, extension, extending your body back, and inversion, getting your body upside down. Those three uncommon postures, a few minutes a day doing those, and you offset many hours a day of the gravitational stress on your spine, the gravitational effect on your circulatory system, your cerebrospinal system, and dropped organs, hernias, all in relation to gravity, you know, pulling our bodies down. It's not that we're not meant to be an upright animal, but you look at most animals, they're on all fours in the most neutral posture to gravity. We've evolved so we're up on our hind legs due to filling a niche in our environment, our developmental environment, back many thousands of years ago, and we've been given the intelligence of a large brain, which can be made even larger if we follow a fruit diet. Virtually, if you look at Tony Wright, who's written a book called Left in the Dark, it tells how our brains have actually started to shrink now that most people aren't maintaining a fruit type of diet that is so rich in biochemistry and so rich in all the biochemicals that are found in the tropical rainforest, which caused a rapid acceleration in our brain development and our hormonal development. Now, because we are not being subjected to that hormonal mix, because we're eating French fries and McDonald's and various too high fat and animal-based and grain-based diet, we are not getting the rich biochemical mix that's found in tropical fruits. So our brains have actually started to shrink a little under that, and the society has become far more dysfunctional as a consequence. So, but that's another little sidelight, and it's just one of these things that you learn as you go along. Even by coming to events like this, you'll realize that there's no one answer to health. It's an all-sided, omnilateral approach which achieves the best results. There's no one saying that, corrective exercise, if you do that, that'll get you going. It's got to be done within an omnilateral approach where you're utilizing all the forces of nature to your advantage. And it takes a while to learn to realize to do that. So diet is number one. Next, obviously, but other factors are really important. Exercise, the right type of exercise, such as I've just outlined, and the proper use of sunlight to get the solar radiations that into your body. Proper use of the right type of pure air is really important. Pure water, pure thoughts are really important too. So a mental and emotional poise and adequate rest when needed, and the ultimate type of rest is physiological rest. So utilizing fasting in a judicious manner is important too. So we've got all these things which play a part, and if you follow those basic outlines, you'll achieve good results. People say to me, "Oh, you look pretty good for your age, 68." I say, "No, I don't look particularly good. This is the way you should look when you follow the right lifestyle. It's just that everyone else out there looks like crap, because they're not following the right lifestyle." And so there's so many people who would look better than me, even in getting up towards street score. I'll be 70 in 2 years' time, so I still feel I want to be walking on my hands when I'm 70. Why not,
After doing following a fruit-based lifestyle and a healthy lifestyle for so many years, do you find it takes a lot of strict discipline on your part, or is it more preference?
Willpower, no. Once if your cells are made up of meat and alcohol and grains, that's what they're going to crave, okay? It's so easy once you start to get your cells made up of the finer radiations that are obtained from fruits and some green leaf vegetables. Fruits and green leaf vegetables are pretty well all you need. People say, where do you get your protein from? And they don't even know what protein is. When you break it down, you have to ask that person, well, what's protein, It's amino acids, and your body can't use protein per se. Your body can only use amino acids, which are found in green leaf vegetables and fruit. And ideally, a baby on breast milk, for example, doubles its weight within a period of 3 to 6 months, okay, when it's being breastfed. And what's it doing? You analyze that breast milk. How much protein is in that breast milk? 3 to 4% protein, okay? And yet that baby's doubling its weight. We're not needing to double our weight, so our protein requirements are actually far less than most people realize. Yeah, as regards our fat intake, that is the biggest bugbear, because a lot of people in the raw food movement are going towards the taste of the gourmet sort of raw food, which is really too high in fat. For a start, you need to get your fat daily intake down below, say, 15% of the calories that you derive from ideally Dr. Doug Graham's diet, the 80-10-10 diet, is fantastic because it gives people an outline how they can get their fat levels within really good manner. It only takes 3 to 4 days to clear your body of that excess fat. So once you stop doing it, you'll feel so much lighter and better, and you'll realize that you don't have to have that high fat diet for the calories that you need to expend, because the body is such an adaptable instrument that it adapts to the conditions that are imposed on it. Often though, the adaptation is in the wrong direction. So for example, your body will adapt to cigarette smoke, and you'll gradually notice that the first time you maybe had a cigarette, it made you feel nauseous and you want to throw up and everything. But if you persist and force yourself to keep that introducing that poison into your body will try and adapt to that poison to the best it can, because it's a unit which is a self-preservation unit. Your whole body is trying to preserve life for as long as possible, even under adverse conditions. So it'll harden, the lung tissues will become hardened and indurated, because that's what happens, and you can't take as much oxygen into your system if you're a cigarette smoker. It's the same with all poisons. What's a poison? A poison is something which has to be expelled from the body, you know, and all drugs are poisons, because your body's got... drugs don't act on your body, okay? It's the body that acts on the drug. If you inject a dead person with a drug, nothing happens. It just sits there. But if you inject a live person with a drug, what acted, the body or the drug? The body acts. The body acts to get rid of the corrosive, poisonous effect of the drug, and often it'll be stimulated in a manner which causes the symptoms that you gave the drug for to temporarily be abated, while the body has to take care of the renewed insult which has been forced upon it by taking that drug. So yeah, all these things you kind of learn a little bit as you go along, you know. Any other questions, Kev?
Yeah. And where can we find more information or connect with you if we wanted to?
Well, I'm just setting up a website currently in October, and but people can reach me through the Woodstock site, Dr. Robert Lockhart initially, but I'll be setting up probably under the name of Robbie, R-A-W-B-B-I-E, Robbie Raw. And I'll be running some retreats next year, hopefully in a tropical environment where we can have fresh fruit available and the right type of teachers to teach some of the things that I've just been outlining in this little interview.
Thank you, Dr. Robert Lockhart.
Yeah, you're welcome, Kev.
Eating very, very juicy mangoes here. They're beautiful. I've come from Mexico. Nice, huh? Some people ask me what's the favourite fruit. I say what I'm eating at the present moment, the mango. It's one of my favourite fruits. It's a nice,
Yeah, I'll be there in like 10 minutes.
nice tasting fruit. You want to try some, Kevin?
It's a beautiful day.